What's up, everyone? This is the Denning Podcast. My name is Jake Denning. On this episode, I'm joined by Terrance Pettitt, who I like to say is one of the scene's hottest free agents. He's been on tour for a solid minute, as you'll hear later on, jumping behind the drum kit for bands such as Great American Ghost, The Acacia Strain, Comeback Kid, and plenty more. Believe me, he is a certified champion live, and I believe he will become even more in demand in the future. If you need even more evidence, he has a ton of wild clips showcasing his skills on Instagram and TikTok, boasting quite a large and growing following. We also talk about what it's like being a touring drummer and not tied down to any specific band full time, the stresses of touring, and a lot more. Definitely do follow his social media accounts to keep a close eye on who he's working with at the moment. You can support the podcast by doing the following. First, subscribe it wherever you like to podcast: Spotify, Overcast, Apple Podcast, wherever. Second, tell a friend, either in person or on social media. Word of mouth is a massive way to get this podcast in front of new people and help it grow. Anyways, enough talk. Here's my chat with Terrance Pettitt.
Oh, I
Enjoy.
got you. Yeah,
But yeah,
sorry, I'm
we're
not
doing.
on the most ideal headset this time. I'm at my grandparents' house right now.
No, it sounds great, dude. But I appreciate you jumping on, though. I mean, how are things this weekend? I think you've been back for what, a couple weeks now, or?
Yeah. I got back from tour I think about 3 weeks ago now. Um, it was nice. I haven't seen my girlfriend in like a year, so we went to a cottage pretty much right off the bat.
That's insane. I mean, how do you even deal with that? Like, I mean, I know that like God, you're back for a week or two, then you go another month or so out, and then
Yeah, honestly, man, it's been like for the last year, a little over a year. It's been pretty much just back to back to back to back to back tours, and every single tour for the most part has been like different bands. So I'm like, I get home from a tour and I'm pretty much just like, it's not really even a day off or like a couple weeks off because I'm on the kit learning the next band's set.
for
And
sure.
so like, it's been complicated, but also good for the relationship, like the space between each other.
Yeah.
Definitely makes you miss each other and whatnot. So
I mean, that's like ironclad strength. I mean, I could never do that. I
yeah,
mean, I'm,
you could do it, dude.
dude, early 30s now, dude. Like, my wife goes for a couple days. I'm like, you know what? It would be really great if you came back right now.
Oh, dude, I feel that as well. But you got to do what you got to do.
No,
And she travels for work too. She's a producer on TV shows, so
oh, well, then,
she gets it.
yeah, for sure then. I guess for those who are uninitiated with like what you do, could you kind
Mhm.
of give people kind of a rounded idea of what your job is? Because then you play for Great American Ghost, Comeback Kid, the Acacia Strain sometimes. I think I'm
Mhm.
missing Justice.
Yeah, just for the Dam, Chamber, Tulip, Nightwell, Hollowworth. So basically, I'm a fill-in drummer, drummer for hire. So I'll come out and work for bands, whether it be studio or touring work. Like I can come and work with bands. So I'll do some studio stuff for bands like Judgment and Perfect Limbs and um, Damon Gray, to name a few. I've done a couple records with them. Promise Everything. Um, And then for touring stuff, I've worked with, like you just said, Comeback Kid has been some of my best friends. I've been working with them for a couple years now. The Acacia Strain, Just for the Dam, Chamber, Tulip, Nightwell, Hollowworth. In the past, I've done like Church Tongue and Conveyor and all that kind of stuff. So it's been
Yeah.
fun.
So you've been pretty busy, like just for the last year then.
Yeah. It's pretty much been nonstop for the last year.
Have you been doing this since like before COVID or?
Yeah, so I started doing the touring drumming thing in 2014,
Okay.
when I was, or 2013, when I was 19 years old. I started filling in for bands, and it's been less busy. Like I've done two, maybe three tours a year, a little bit more on the low scale with like underground hardcore bands and stuff like that. But over the last year, it's definitely been way more busy. I think I did 200 and something shows over the last 365 days.
Yeah. Is Nightwell another band you're doing, or is it more of like a local
Yeah,
project or?
yeah, it's a Toronto-based band. I'm full-time member of the band. I started it with the guitar player Cole Hardy, and then we brought in Kyle Marchant, who's a producer friend of ours. He works with bands like Rarity and Bearings and Silverstein and all
Yeah.
that kind of stuff. Um, and our singer Jason, and yeah.
Is that like, are you hoping to like tour with that band, or is that more of like just a local at home kind of thing?
I mean, we definitely would. It's been a little bit on the back burner lately. we've all kind of just been busy doing our own thing. So we've just been doing stuff when we can. But we've got a fill-in drummer sorted for the band so they can do stuff while I'm away. And but yeah, it's kind of just like it's mostly just for fun. We just
Yeah.
enjoy doing it. So
Do you prefer kind of being a free agent to kind of float around and do what seems most satisfying, or do you kind of want to settle into something more permanent?
I mean, I'm open to whatever. Like, um, I would definitely settle with a band if the pieces fit. Like, I mean, I've had a very lucky experience where most of the bands that I've worked with, actually, I'd say all the bands that I've worked with, have been really great dudes. And there hasn't really been any conflict of interest. But it is nice having that variety. Like, I do a lot of cover songs and stuff when I'm at home, and
Yeah.
it kind of challenges me as like a musician to kind of learn how other people play drums in their way, and then I can incorporate that into my style. So like when I get to play parts that I don't know how to pronounce his last name, I'm not gonna lie, but Matt Giglielmo,
Yeah.
he's a beast on the kit, like one of my favorite drummers to watch. So when I have to play stuff that he plays, it's like really nice because I can adopt his style and his way of playing into the way that I do my stuff.
Do you ever watch
So
those
yeah,
Drumeo videos?
sometimes, yeah. I just watched the Sleep Token dudes one.
Yeah.
It was pretty interesting. I liked it.
I love those. I mean, it's like I think I saw one with like Gojira. It was like, oh,
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
Dude,
that's a tough
Mario
band to
is
play.
sick. He's so good.
Yeah, I mean, speaking of drummers, I mean, I think filling in for the Acacia string would be tough. I mean, Kevin
Yeah,
left recently. He by
dude.
far one of the most talented live drummers I've seen in the last like 20 years.
Some big shoes to fill for sure. It was a
Yeah.
lot of fun doing that, but it was hard.
Yeah, and like were you apprehensive like, "Ooh, I mean, I could do it, but like,
I mean, so when I first got the offer, I was like, oh, Acacia Strain, like I grew up listening to them, a lot of breakdowns.
mhm.
I can do breakdowns. But then when I actually got to sit down and start learning and everything, I'm like, this is complicated as fuck.
Yeah, his footwork is crazy.
Yeah, it's sick. Like, honestly, I think taking these tours, like, even if I'm not up to snuff going into the tour, um, it's kind of nice because, like, by the time the tour is over, I feel like I've grown a lot as a musician.
Yeah.
So I don't think that there's any tour that I would not take unless it was like miles above.
What about a country tour?
Oh, dude, I would take that in a second. You kidding
Yeah. I
me?
mean, outside of the whole money aspect of it, I mean, you got
um,
Jared Easterling
so
playing for Co Wetzel right now. You got
that's what I'm
Cody playing
saying.
for Jelly Roll. I mean, it's
The dude from Chelsea Grin, I'm pretty
yeah,
sure, is playing for a
Pablo.
country artist now. Yeah,
Yeah, I forgot who he's playing for.
yeah, but dude, it's crazy. So sick.
Yeah, I mean,
And I mean, dude,
yeah,
it looks like there's like just watching them play their stuff. It looks like there's a lot of room for them to, it's all pocket, but
yeah.
they have some fun with it.
But it takes like so much control to do that though, and like not let loose.
Yeah, yeah, I
Like,
respect them a lot for being able to do that kind of stuff.
because what was it? Like, I think I saw someone like they were talking about playing in metal, then transitioning to over something like more like radio rock, where it's more
Hmm.
straightforward. That's hard.
Yeah, dude. I mean, when you're playing metal, it's like it's balls to the walls. It's hard. It's fast. It's intense. And then you're going to something where you're just playing four on the floor with a little groove mixed in there.
Yeah. What do you think is the most challenging aspect of kind of where you're at in the music world right now? Like just playing with different bands? Like, is it the financial part? Is it just like learning everyone's set over and over and over again? Is it something else? Like,
Um, you know, there's nothing that's like too difficult. I think learning the set is probably the most challenging one. Obviously, financials is hard. You got mortgages and rent and bills and all that stuff that you got to take care of. So you got to make sure that you have some kind of money coming in, and
yeah.
especially for underground music like we're into, it's a little less lucrative.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Especially.
but like you do what you got to do. But I think learning the songs for a band set is probably the most challenging part because there's definitely days where I'm just like, I don't want to play drums.
Yeah.
Especially like when I've wrapped up a 5 or 6 week tour and then I get home and I'm like, okay, I have 2 weeks at home, and I'm like, okay, I have 2 weeks at home, and I'm like, okay, but I can't really rest because I got to figure out the next band set.
Yeah, I mean, how long of a
So
process does it look like? Like, do you have like a couple weeks to kind of figure it out, or?
yeah, usually I think the shortest time frame I had was 8 days. But I mean, for the most part, I'll start working on a band set while I'm on the previous band's tour. So
Yeah.
like when I was out with Justice for the Dam, we would like get to the venue, load in, set up, whatnot, and then I would just sit on my practice pad and run through the songs for the Acacia Strain and just kind of get the muscle memory down at least.
Yeah,
And
of
then when
course.
I get back from the tour, I can just apply it to the kit, and it's a lot easier of a transition.
Yeah, so you're coming from like 50% versus zero.
Exactly. Yeah.
But to me, like that's a professional musician. Like you can't just jump in and grab a set in 8 days. I mean, that's insane. You have to be a
It's
pro
hard,
fat.
it's challenging for sure, but I mean, dude, I've heard stories. I'm trying to remember the guy's name. I think it's Sage Weber, I think his name is.
Yeah.
He filled in for Bring Me the Horizon on, I think I was told, a day's notice, maybe 2 days notice, which is like insane
Yeah.
because I'm pretty sure they got like a 15 song set at least.
And there's so many like nuances too. Like you have a cymbal choke here. You kind of,
Hmm.
I mean, and fans know what to expect. I mean, if you've seen a band once or twice, like you kind of like know, even with say like Miss May I, like I know like Jared's gonna like choke a cymbal here at this part. Like
Hmm.
they know what to expect. So when
Yeah.
it's not coming, it's like,
So,
oh wait a minute.
and that's another thing that you kind of got to incorporate too. Like, I did this the most with Comeback Kid when I did that first tour with them in 2022,
Yeah.
where I learned their set and got it down, and then I went through live videos and I watched Lauren play, and then I tried to learn the way that he would play it live, so that the band didn't really feel like they had to fill in,
Yeah. I mean, because
which
drums, yeah,
was really nice for them.
it can throw things off so quickly. Like, I mean,
Yeah.
timing is so important. I mean, man, how was that Great American Ghost tour? I mean, I think I saw the show in Pittsburgh. That was tight.
Yeah, dude, that was a great one, man.
Yeah.
My buddy Stu McDonald was there as well, which was nice because he was the photographer merch guy for the Acacia Strain, and I haven't seen him since the tour that we did together. So,
Yeah.
um,
Yeah.
but yeah, the show was great. The tour was awesome. Got along really well with the Great American Ghost guys. We did a dry tour, so we weren't drinking or anything like that. We were up early every morning, going to the gym, having a nice routine. We were eating pretty well. Shows were great. Music was fun. Got along well with the guys, but and then in the off days, because we weren't spending money on drinking, we were going to a cottage and having a nice chill day around the fire.
Yeah. I mean, I mean, I feel like if you're playing drums, like you kind of have to work out. I mean, it's a workout in itself. Like,
Hmm.
have you ever seen like Matt Griner post his Apple Watch workouts online?
No, I haven't, but I imagine they're pretty impressive because that
Yeah.
guy is
Yeah.
self-disciplined as hell.
It's like 160 heart rate. Like it's insane.
Yeah.
Like
I
so
mean, there was
you're
one time.
cooked.
Yeah, dude, it's a lot. There was one workout that I did. One prep session that I did when I was getting ready for the chamber tour, and their music is hard, dude. Like it's crazy. Tay, he is a beast of a drummer. Um, and there was one session that I did. I think it was probably about 3 or 4 hours of drumming, and I think I burned like 2,000 calories or something like that. Like it's wild, dude.
Have you had any like big cheat meals on the road when you like are going through this effort? Like, are you just kind of keeping it pretty lean?
I mean, it's kind of like it's hard on tour. Like you can only eat so much. It's different. Like Europe, they cater the food, which is really nice. So you can kind of eat fruit, vegetables, like fresh sandwich meats, fresh bread. But when you're in North America, it's a lot of fast food
Yeah.
because they typically lean towards buyouts and per diems instead of doing catering. So you'll get like a dollar amount at the end of the day, and you can take that and spend it on whatever you like. But a lot of the stuff in North America is like you can go and get Taco Bell, or you can get a fried chicken sandwich at whatever place.
Yeah.
Um, so trying to find alternatives to that is definitely a thing. I mean, we go to Walmart for breakfast a lot in the morning. We'll get like a Greek yogurt with some fruit and granola and just throw it all together.
Yeah.
A lot of coffee shops, but
I mean, for me, it's
a
like
lot of a lot of Starbucks.
if I'm burning 2,000 calories in a workout, like I'm gonna rip through it at rotisserie chicken.
Oh yeah,
and
dude.
like guilt
Um,
free. Like,
and I think that's the hardest part, especially for a drummer, is like it's hard on tour to eat the proper amount of calories, especially with the amount that we're burning. So your body kind of goes into like a starvation mode at some points, and you can like end up putting on more weight,
okay, because like
which is
you've
crazy.
come home and it's like, wait, I gained 5 pounds. Like, how in the
Oh
world did
yeah,
this happen?
oh yeah. I mean, dude, when I'm out with Comeback Kid, it's a little bit more partying, so we tend to overindulge in the drink a little bit.
Have they
So
been
I
the
usually come home
hardest
from.
band, like as far as partying goes, or is it someone else?
I would say so, yeah. And like not in a bad way or anything. Like the
No,
guys are all
no.
responsible, but yeah, we tend to overindulge a little bit.
Yeah, because I know, the K2 strain tends to chill pretty hard. I mean, they haven't met any of the guys from Comeback Kid or Ghost.
Hmm.
Yeah,
So with Comeback Kid, Jeremy is straight edge, but the rest of the guys are not. Also, Jeremy loves to drive. He just enjoys it, so it kind of works out.
isn't that nice?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I hate
But
driving, man.
dude, I'm not a fan.
Especially when it's like a trailer too attached to it. It's like, you
Yeah,
turn the wrong way and it fishtails, and it's like,
yeah.
yeah.
Like I'll do it if I have to, but if I don't have to, I would prefer not to. It's not my favorite task.
I mean, maybe if it's like a huge podcast series that's coming up, like you can binge through that, but like,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah. Dude, I do a lot of audiobooks when I'm doing drives. Like even if I'm riding shotgun or whatever, we'll just throw like a an audiobook on. Like when I was with Justice, we listened through a bunch of the Dexter books just cause.
yeah. You ever get down with the library, like Libby and Hoopla or whatever? It's like you can get free audiobooks for free for weeks on end.
Oh, really?
Oh, dude,
What's it called?
it's like, so every library has their own like audio platform.
Oh.
Like, my library at home has what's called Libby, and
Hmm.
then other places like, you can sign up for a different cards in different counties. Like I have one in Broward County in Florida. I have one in Clark County in Vegas. I have one here at home. Like, I guess there's no rule
Yeah,
against it. I saw it on Reddit and was like, oh, okay. Turns out
dude,
you can
I've
do
been
that.
meaning to look into that. I completely forgot. My friend Tanner, she actually mentioned this recently. She was doing a short tour manager stint with Comeback Kid for like 4 or 5 of the days on the Silver Scene tour.
Yeah.
But she had mentioned that you can sign up through a library card and get audiobooks for free, and I had no idea, and I completely forgot about that until you just mentioned it.
Yeah,
So
of
thank you.
course. No, no, it's weird though because like you'll have a book at home and it'll be booked out for maybe 4 months. But
Okay.
in Florida, it's a 3 week wait.
Oh, okay. So it kind of still works in the same way that a library does, where you have like a certain amount of books that you can rent
Yeah,
out.
yeah, you can put
That's
holds
kind of
on
cool.
it and like, yeah, it's great though because otherwise like there's books that you never would get to touch because they're reserved for 4 months out, and then you kind of forget about it,
Yeah.
and then you can forget, and then you're like, hey, do you want it now or do you want to like pass it along to the next guy and then come back to you later? Cool,
Is
pass
that
it
more
along.
for like the popular books like Lord of the Rings and that kind of
Yeah,
stuff?
there
Yeah,
was
gotcha.
a really awesome one, Chain Gang All Stars.
Hmm.
That was like a 4 to 5 month wait.
Damn.
Like
Okay, well, I'll add that to my list
that
because I
book,
gotta.
that book was so it was incredible. It was
What was
like
that one called?
Chain Gang All Stars. Who is it by?
Chain Gang All Stars. All right.
It's
Uh, I am definitely gonna butcher this name.
Nana
Nana
Kwame. Yeah, that's the one.
Kwame. Yeah,
It's like a cross between Hunger Games and a bunch of other like dystopian novels. It's great.
dude,
Like
right up my alley. I love that.
one of the best things I've had in the last like couple years.
I love that.
But yeah, it's like has like a lot of like activism and social justice angles too that kind of educate while also kind of diving through the story. It's cool.
Awesome. Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, I added it to the list, so I'm definitely gonna rip through and then we'll chat about that next time I chat with you.
dude, for sure. Because you'll be back soon. I mean, I wanted to go catch the show last time you were in Portland, but I was at the Alpha Wolf tour earlier on instead.
Yeah,
So
dude, that was crazy. There was like on I think 5 or 6 of the dates of the Ghost in the Side tour, there was like 6 tour packages in the area. It was wild.
Which is wild because like people are like, oh, it's not a competition. Like, yeah, it is. Yeah, it is.
Yeah, but we don't want it to be. Like,
No.
dude, I love the Alpha Wolf guys, and I'm like, I wanted to go see them, but I was like, I can't.
Yeah, I mean it's tough because like if music fan only has like, a few $100 each year to go see a tour, it's like,
Yep.
and it sucks. I hate that. But yeah, I mean even like there's what was the band? It was like the Black Keys or something that had to cancel their tour. It was an arena tour and it got canceled because of underselling, and then it's this conversation of like, why is this happening? It's like, well, because people don't want to spend $100 to go sit in the 300 section for an
Yeah,
arena
dude. I
tour.
mean, ticket prices are insane. Like, I was literally just talking about this with my partner recently, and she was mentioning something crazy about like Taylor Swift tickets going for like $2,000+ or something like
Oh,
that. Like,
dude, yeah.
you could go to Europe and see Taylor Swift for cheaper than it would be to see her in your hometown. Like, that's insane.
Somebody did that. I don't know who it was. I want to say it was one of the label guys, but like, yeah, they flew out to somewhere in like Germany and caught the tour, and
Yeah,
then yeah, I'm like, that's crazy. You get a hotel, you get the show for two people. Like a ticket in Seattle was going for 1,500,
it's wild, dude.
and
Like,
I can't do
how do you
that.
afford that?
Like I get mad over drink prices. I went to go see Yellow Card this weekend, and a double lemonade was $22.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
like
dude.
I
Everything is
literally
expensive,
I
and
can't explain it to myself if I like spend the money on that, because yeah,
you
it's
just
just
gotta
I'm gonna like
accept it blindly.
drink it mad. I'm gonna drink it mad, and like I can't do that.
Yeah, that's why we pre-drink, baby.
Now I will tell you, across from Stage AE there was this place called Tequila Cowboys.
Okay.
Crazy.
Do they sell burgers?
No, it was just tequila drinks. They were apparently having a happy hour special right before the show.
Oh,
And so I went to go check in the venue. I went right across the street. They were selling double margaritas for $6.
oh, that's sick. Damn, dude.
Yeah,
I
so
was I should have been drinking on that
it
tour.
was it was an amazing experience. I was like, I don't know what this is, because you're never gonna find this anywhere else. Like,
Yeah, dude.
yeah.
I remember there was one time I played New York City, and they were doing 5 for 10 Jameson shots at some like underground bar that was down the street from the venue. This was like, oh God, 2016 maybe. But yeah, it was sick.
Like I feel like I'm getting away with something there, but like I mean, I think you make up for it with tipping, but still, it's like,
Oh yeah,
you scratch my back, I'll scratch yours. It's
yeah,
um
yeah.
has any other band offered you a permanent position recently? Like, I mean, I feel like maybe, Acacia Strain might have offered you something.
I mean, yeah. It's kind of complicated. I kind of am enjoying doing the fill-in thing right now, and especially because recently this has become my sole source of income is doing the drumming stuff. I recently left my job in the restaurant industry, so if I'm not on tour or in studio, I'm not really making money, and with bills and everything, I got to make sure that I'm good.
Yeah.
So that's where the complication comes in, is like if I'm working full time for a band and we only have 3 tours a year, it's like that rest of the time is like I'm not sure. And then there's also the complication of if a band does offer me a tour, um, and I'm not sure if we'll have anything, and then the band that I join gets an offer, do I then have to turn down this band that I've already committed to? Or like
Yeah.
it's so complicated,
It
dude.
is. Like that's why I don't envy it, because you have so many different things to cross, and I mean the finances
Hmm.
alone, like even like with tax season, I'm sure you have like a whole stack of things to turn in.
Yeah, it's a lot. Thank God for my accountant. So
Yeah. Has there been any like really interesting tax write-offs in the last year or so, or
nothing too crazy. Mostly just food, gym stuff.
shoes?
Yeah, yeah, clothing, that kind of stuff. But a lot of coffee. It's a lot of coffee.
Um I think I first encountered like what you do through social media like a couple of years ago. I think it was like a Wage War cover.
Yeah,
Um,
was that the oh
Might have been
god,
Death
that was a
Roll.
YouTube one, right? Yeah, yeah.
Has that
Yeah, Death
really
Roll.
has that really helped you kind of blow up and get in front of other bands that might have given you offers or?
I mean, I think so. Like definitely having um the presence on social media. I'm sure it definitely helps in the long run. Like if a band is looking for a drummer and they go to my page and they see, oh, he's got 30 plus thousand followers on TikTok. Like I'm sure that comes into consideration when they're figuring something out. But I feel like word of mouth definitely helps more because
Really?
I mean
Okay.
you gotta spend a month or more in a very tight space with these people, so you want to make sure that they're not going to be like weird to hang out with or anything like that. But I did get the Justice for the Dam tour from my videos, so
Yeah.
yeah, it definitely helps.
Yeah, and like I think the production value too is like a huge angle as well because that's so hard to pull off.
Thank you,
It
dude.
looks
Yeah,
so clean.
my partner, she went to school for TV and film, so she's my secret weapon.
So
She set everything up for me.
that's really the pro tip there is we've learned anything here today. It's marry someone or be in a relationship with someone that
Yeah,
does pro video.
exactly. Yeah, yeah,
Um, yeah, I mean, that's great though that you got in front of Justice and got that gig there because honestly, I had no idea who they were until I saw their content being posted by you. It's like that's kind of a
dude.
full
And
circle
I'm gonna
thing.
be honest, man. I had never heard of them before they reached out to me for the tour either. Like they're from Australia, so
Yeah.
it's the complete opposite side of like I'm from Canada, so it's literally the opposite side of the world. But I did that tour with them, and immediately we were close friends. And I gotta say, man, like those guys are some of my favorite people I've ever met through music, and I love them to death.
Yeah, I mean, I wish that they were on that Kublai Khan leg earlier this year versus the second leg.
Yeah, yeah, it would have been sick.
Yeah,
Unfortunately, they're having some issues with their drummer. He's been sick for a little while, so he's going through the medication process and everything, which
yeah,
he has spoken about publicly, or I wouldn't say anything.
of course.
Um, but that's why I ended up filling in for them last year because he was dealing with all that. But Chaz is like an awesome dude. He's really nice and a fucking fantastic drummer. So we're really rooting for him to make a speedy recovery because I want to see him back behind the kit for these boys.
So everyone's gonna pull up though when they come through.
Oh yeah, dude.
I guess that's really what I like about your content in the first place is that it's kind of like another buddy, like, yo, check this band out, especially this part. Like when you kind of in your car, you turn it up and it's like, bam. That's what I
Yeah,
love though. It's like so organic. It's not like yeah,
I tend to find the breakdowns in a lot of songs. You know,
yeah,
I've been into like a nice heavy breakdown since I was a little kid. Back listening to like Slipknot and everything before breakdowns were even breakdowns. Um, but yeah, so that's always been something that stuck with me, and still doing that. So here we are.
yeah. What other content creators do you really look towards or kind of like get inspired by? I mean, I like the guy who does the 100 riffs thing. Justin, I think his name is.
Hmm.
Yeah,
There's a dude that I really like on TikTok. I can't remember his username right now. I'm gonna pull it up. It's his name's Cole. Let me see if I can find it. But regardless, he does guitar covers and stuff, and he's awesome. The dude from Polyphia,
yeah.
um, what's his name?
Tim
Tim.
Henson.
Yeah, he's phenomenal. Like the production value in his videos is great. Like aside from he's a phenomenal guitar player, but even
Oh
like
yeah,
the aesthetic of his video is great. Growing up, I was big into Anoop Sastry. He's a fantastic drummer. Um, and Adam Gray and his stuff. Like he did the live videos and stuff like that when I was in high school. So,
I forgot about that.
um,
I forgot about
dude,
the Adam Gray videos.
yeah, dude, the Adam Gray videos and the Matt Grenier videos and stuff like that were kind of like what got me into like wanting to do this as a career.
Yeah,
Um, and then like Luke Holland with his drum covers and all that kind of stuff was very inspirational to me as a child as well. Um,
that
but
feels like such a past era. Like it feels like such a long time ago.
dude, Yeah, I mean, it was like 15 years ago now.
Yeah, which, oh man,
It's crazy.
I don't like thinking about that, but I mean, at the same time, it's like,
Dude, we're getting old.
I know, man. I'm early 30s. Like, I think about records turning 20, and I'm like,
I know, dude.
yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, POD's Satellite turned 20 a couple years ago, and I was like, ah.
Yeah, dude, there's records turning 20 left and right this year. There's so many of them.
Yeah, because I think about like, Under Oath went on tour to support Chasing Safety on like a 15-year run. Now they're redoing
Mhm.
it on a 20-year run. I'm like, man, like, it feels
Feels like it was
so
recently.
it feels so surreal. But yeah, I mean, time really does fly by as you get older, which is like just kind of what it
No,
is.
it sure
But
does.
damn, dude, it's like, I guess that's kind of the upside to what you do is you can kind of plug in indefinitely everywhere and not have to worry about, a band breaking up or
Yeah, and I mean, I think it's great. Like, that Under Oath record, I mean, shaped a lot of our generation for sure.
yeah.
So for them to be able to for them to be able to do a 15-year and a 20-year of all these records and stuff is like, it's badass, dude. I love that.
Yeah, I feel like, I mean, the TikTok scene better than I would, but like I feel like TikTok has really jumped on the scene as a whole in the last couple years.
Dude, I'm gonna be honest with you, man. I don't understand TikTok at all.
For real. Okay.
I have my content and I post it and it just kind of like I feel like I got lucky with it. I did like unintentionally. I just put a hoodie on and played a Sleep Token song and it just did well. And that just kind of turned into my thing. Um, but when it comes to like the TikTok trends and doing all that kind of stuff, dude, I am so bad at it. Like my partner is she tries to help me make some stuff that's like trendy on TikTok and whatnot, but if it was not for her, I would be out of the loop.
What's the other one like playing drums alongside like TV show episode clips?
Yeah, I
Those are
mean,
fun.
I could do something like that. Um, she's done like the sound check to live stuff for me, and she put together a video where like she was pulling up clips of me playing guitar when I was younger because I didn't start drumming till I was 16.
Yeah.
Um, and then was like what I thought I would be when I was a kid, and then what I'm doing now, like one of those kind of things. But dude, like that kind of stuff doesn't even come to my mind. I wouldn't even think to do that. So she's
Oh,
my literally my secret weapon, dude.
if the tank gets empty and you need more content, it's not an original idea at all, but older WWE themes.
Oh, geez, dude, my best friend would love that.
Like you could even include like clips from past like events and then have it like hidden like oh, what was it, Edge coming back at Royal Rumble recently. Like that would have been nuts.
All right,
Yeah.
I'll add it to the list, dude.
Dude, wrestling is tight, dude. I love wrestling. It like I fell
Dude, my
away from
best
it for a
friend.
while, but like yeah, I got back into it probably like around like probably around that time 2015, 2016, and it's been such a fun ride like
Dude, you would get along so good with my friend Cole.
yeah.
Um, his name's Cole Hardy. He plays in Nightwell with me, as well as like 16 other little side project things. We're like writing a really heavy record right now, but he's a legend and I love him. But he loves wrestling, dude.
Well, and it's like it's scripted, but it's real. Like you can't fake going through,
A
this.
table.
Yeah, it's like people get
Yeah,
hurt all the time.
yeah,
Yeah, I mean, and
yeah,
plus like you have the scene tie in too. I mean, you got wrestlers like Seth Rollins and
yeah.
you know
Andy.
the Butcher.
Yeah,
He's
yeah.
Andy
Very
Williams from
proud of him.
E-Tid. Yeah, he's still rocking it. I mean, you got Malachi Black. I mean, all these
Dude,
guys.
Andy is actually responsible for a lot of my fitness goals.
Yeah.
I toured with him in 2017, and I went to the gym with him pretty much every day. And dude, he kicked my butt, dude. It was crazy.
Yeah. I forgot like what year it was it like that everyone started getting into fitness. It was like I want to say it was like the stick to your guns guys that really like started pushing it, and then
Yeah, probably.
it was like
I know,
everyone else.
like Matt from Citizen. He used to stay at my place when we were like 19, 20, and
Yeah.
they would be playing Toronto. They would just come crash at my house. And every day, dude, we would have some gym stuff going on. I went out to see them at Warp Tour, and they had like a full bench and weights in the back of their trailer
That's
with,
right.
and they would
That's
just work
right.
out like them, Parkway Drive, Miss May I, whatnot, like crazy stuff. And dude, I love that because there's not a lot of people that are down to stick through it. But honestly, dude, touring with fitness, it just feels happier. Like I feel good when I do it.
Yeah, you get all the stress out mostly. I mean,
Yeah, dude.
plus like for you don't have to do any interviews, during the day, so you kind of have like
Yeah,
an extra time block to kind of be left
yeah,
alone.
yeah. It's great,
But
dude.
yeah, I mean, yeah, God, I mean, who have been the drummers that have you've looked to in the last like couple of years, whether it's live, online? It's like, ooh, I really have got to step my game up here.
Dude, Estepario,
Yeah, I like the guy.
his speed game is crazy, man. He's like he earned his following, man. Like he's awesome.
Don't you love that? It's like
Um,
someone who's like really kind of just like organic and really just loves it, and then gets
yeah,
to a good
dude.
spot like that.
Like I've never met him. I don't know him, but like I can tell just from the amount of content that he puts out how good he is that he lives and breathes drums, dude. Like he is so disciplined, he's so dedicated, and he is probably insanely hardworking, and I love that.
Yeah,
So he's up there. Other people that I've seen, if you're talking online, I mean Eloy, the new
Casa
Slipknot
Grande.
drummer,
Yeah,
yeah, he's insane and definitely a role model for me. Like I only found out about him a couple of years ago, but he plays the way that I want to play, like hard as hell. He beats the shit out of his kit, and I love that. And he's tight. He's very, very tight. Like everything is calculated. He's not hard just to hit hard. It's like it's got a purpose. And then for like drummers that I've toured with and people that I respect in the scene, like Tay Carpenter from Chamber, he is one of my favorite drummers. Matt, who we were talking about earlier, he drums for Acacia Strain and End. He is a beast as well. I love watching his stuff. Mike White from Orthodox, another legend, dude. They're all so good behind the kit, and I love watching them do stuff.
yeah. I mean, I always love hearing perspectives like from someone like yourself, where because you have people that people immediately think of, like your Matt Greiner, Adam Gray, but hearing some of those lesser known drummers kind of get some
Mm-hmm.
attention. Like I love that.
Dude, they're my inspiration. So if I can share their stuff with other people, that would be huge.
And again, like it comes back to that kind of full circle thing with your content where it's like, oh, check this out. Oh man, they really go in. I'm gonna,
Yeah.
because I mean, I know for myself, like in the past where I've done interviews, it's like, oh, hey, I just want to let you know I went to go check out this record or this tour because of something you did in the past, and it was awesome. Thanks. I'd imagine there's people
That's
out there.
sick.
It's like, yo, I went to go see Justice because you posted a clip online, or I went to go see this band, or whatever.
Yeah, and I mean it's crazy, like especially the younger generation. Like we said, man, I'm getting old now. So
Yeah,
but like there was someone at the Acacia Strain show in I want to say Chicago, but I'm not positive. But they came up to me afterwards and they were like, "Dude, like I found out about the Acacia Strain from you," and they came out to the show for that, which is crazy. I mean, for me because I'm 30, so like I grew up listening to the band and
yeah.
whatnot. But they were like probably 19, 20 maybe. So they're finding out about the Acacia Strain through my videos on TikTok.
Which, yeah, I mean, that's like the whole. It's what you would really hope for because it's not the money. I mean,
Yeah, dude, it's sick. Like if I can bring a kid into like the metal hardcore scene and show them bands that I listened to when I was a kid, uh, as they're discovering music now, like I love that, dude. Like all these bands, like Sleep Token and Knock Loose and Bring the Horizon. I mean, Bring the Horizon's been around forever, but they're like a gateway band still
yeah,
to kids getting into music, which is awesome, and I love that.
definitely. I was wondering because you had a video stitched by Nothing Nowhere recently.
Yeah,
Yeah, that had to have been sick. Could you see yourself working in more of a producing role in the future, or
yeah,
'cause
100%.
I think about him and it's like he is gonna maybe retire from like touring, but be in a producer role and smash it.
I mean, dude, I don't blame him. Like, there's with online and stuff, like this is the era where you can kind of get away with not having to tour. Dude, don't get me wrong, I love touring, but for people, like touring is not for everyone, man. It's
Hmm.
hard. It's
It is hard.
taxing on your body. It's like you're surrounded by people constantly. Like even if you have a day off, you're still surrounded by five or six other people at minimum. So it's like
Hmm.
you don't really have any alone time. So that is hard. But I know, for example, bands like Darko, they are majority online, like because they can make money and do that. And I think that's great, dude. We're in the age of the internet. Take advantage of it. Use it for the best that you can. But in terms of production stuff, I like I mentioned earlier, Kyle Marchant. He's another one of my best friends. He is a role model for me. He's very hardworking. The guy works like 16 hours a day, 6 to 7 days a week. It's insane. But I am sitting in with him now. I'm kind of learning how to do the engineering side of everything in the studio. So it's complicated. Like it's hard, but it's definitely a skill that I would love to learn.
Yeah, I
Because
mean,
I mean, there's even aspects of it that I could take on the road with me. Like if I needed to edit some music or something like that, which I think would be awesome.
yeah, and you have time too. I mean, it's like it's not like you're 50 and trying to figure it out the first time.
Hmm.
Oh man, I had super selfish question here, but like you're as someone who has tattoos on their legs, how hard is that to get done? Is it super painful? Like depending on like where you get it, is it like I would imagine the calf
So,
is pretty easy, but like the shin probably is just terrible.
so I can't really compare it to anything upper body. I literally have one arm tattoo that I got last year, and other than that, my upper body is untouched.
Okay.
So I'm all legs, but there's definitely parts of it that sucked. When I was getting the dragon done on the inside of my right leg, there was a part up near my groin that really hurt, dude. Like it sucked, and I didn't know numbing cream existed while I was getting any of these tattoos. So that sucked. And then the back of my knee, like that little tendon that's like in the
Oh,
back area of your knee, dude.
yeah,
Oh my
yeah,
god,
yeah,
it was brutal.
yeah.
But
Exact.
like
Yeah.
majority of them, I mean, getting tattooed, you're getting stabbed. It sucks. It never feels good. But like for the most part, they were bearable. The Darth Maul Oni mask that I got in Iceland was probably the easiest tattoo that I got. The artist that did it had a super light hand. And then Greg X Edge on Instagram, he did my Reaper that you'll see in all my videos on my left thigh. Um, that was a very easy tattoo as well, and it was also really helpful because I just chatted with him the whole time. He's a really good dude.
That sounds familiar. Like
Um,
I think he didn't he work on like what's his last name again?
I don't know his last name, but his Instagram name is Greg X Edge.
Word. Yeah, he's out of like is he out of Canada or is he
He's in Germany.
okay, okay, so maybe not.
Um, but he's awesome, dude. Like I love his work. I think to this day that's still one of my favorite tattoos. The guy that I usually go to, Conrad Sambaka,
Yeah.
he's done majority of my work, and I love his stuff as well. But there's something about this Reaper, man, that's just it feels like it's part of me.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I feel like it kind of has to be now because like I think about like,
Yeah, true.
have you ever like done any sparring with like kickboxing at all or
I have not. I
okay,
did
so yeah.
Taekwondo and stuff when I was a kid, but
So you know like what shin to shin feels like then.
hmm.
Oh, it's the worst.
Yep.
So I can think about like, a tattoo there. It's like
Yeah, Shin did not love it, but also did not hate it. I definitely had worse, but I'm going. What's the day? Sunday. I'm going on Tuesday to finish my right leg, like completely finish it. So I'll let you know when I figure out how bad the rest of the leg is.
and do you take time off like for a couple days after getting tattooed before like playing again
um,
or
depends. Not usually.
yeah.
Most of the time, not most of the time, about half the time that I'm getting tattooed is usually on tour. So I
Okay.
mean, there's been tattoos that I've had where I get tattooed and then go play the set.
Yeah, because I'm thinking like I get done. I'm gonna do my left arm in less than 2 weeks in Seattle. And it's like I think I might just go light the next week for working out and like keep
Yeah.
it, just because like I don't want to like get too gunky and
Yeah,
infected.
dude.
And
I
it's
mean, I
like
would definitely recommend it. You
yeah,
probably should take time off,
but
but
yeah,
yeah.
it's tough. I mean, I definitely want to get the leg stuff going too though, but it's expensive, man.
Yeah, that's the part that sucks.
Yeah, I mean, and it takes forever though too. Like oh man, I walked in one day. It was years ago. I watched Yellow Wolf get tattooed by God, what is his name? Craig. I think he was out of Tallahassee, but he was getting done for like 7 hours.
Oh,
He was
dude,
getting this big University of Alabama logo, Crimson Tide tattooed.
that's sick.
Yeah, it was super awesome, but I can't
Hell yeah.
imagine sitting for 7 hours and just getting like.
Yeah.
But
Well, I mean, that's what I'm looking at for Tuesday. So
I mean,
I think
respect to you though.
it's gonna suck. But I was just like, dude, I want to get it done.
I guess for people that are younger that may want to jump into kind of what you do, whether it's like learning music or even eventually touring or doing content creation at home, what is the best way to kind of jump in and get started?
To be honest with you, man, if you have the freedom to be able to not worry about the budget, try and take some tours for free. Like that's the way I started. I would highly recommend it. I did from 2012 to like 2019, 2020 was pretty much free touring. Like I didn't make any money touring during those times.
Yeah.
If I did make money, it was like $500 for the full like a full month long tour. Um, so don't worry too much about charging stuff. I know it sucks, but if you love it, you got to do what you got to do.
Mm-hmm.
Put the time in, learn other people's music. Super challenging. Makes you a better drummer in the long run. I would highly recommend it. And just be nice. that's that's the biggest part. Just be nice to people. Don't get lost in the sauce. And try to keep yourself a little bit distant from substances. Like, I mean, I'm all about having a good time. I was just having some drinks with my family. Like I said, when I'm with Comeback Kid, we tend to overindulge, but there's a difference between relying on it and using it for enjoyment. So just be careful with substances because it's easy to fall into the trap, especially as a touring musician, because it's always available.
Yeah, man.
Um, but yeah,
I can imagine that's hard though. Like because you would be in your late 20s back then doing these tours for free.
I was in my early 20s at the time.
Okay, so
So I
wait.
started touring when I was 19 until I was 25, 26.
Okay,
I had probably made like $2,000 total off touring
right.
between those years.
But my point is like the conversation that has is you're home. It's like, oh hey, did you make any money? It's like, no, I actually lost money or I didn't make
Yeah.
any money. It's like, okay, what about rent and bills and things?
So that's why, like, dude, there was points where I had 3 jobs, with like 1 to 2 hours off between when I was in my early 20s. Like I was just doing whatever I could to make money while I was at home so that I could afford to do this stuff on the road. And I mean, dude, if you get the opportunity and someone's like, "Hey, we'll pay you to come on tour," dude, kick ass, do that.
Mhm.
But just go into it with an open mind. And I mean, the money is not always available, but if it is, just be thankful for it.
Totally.
But yeah,
So basically, it's like if you really want it, then go get it kind of thing.
yeah. I mean, you get what you give. So I mean, I feel very grateful to be in the place that I'm in. I feel very lucky to have been able to do the tours that I do, but I also did work very hard. Like there was times where there was like a couple month stretches where um, I lost faith in myself and I didn't play drums for long periods of time and whatnot. But it comes in waves, dude, and you just
Yeah.
got to take it as it comes and work when you can and try and make the best of it.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, so you're active on TikTok, Instagram, and maybe YouTube?
Yeah, I have a YouTube. A little
Okay.
less active on YouTube. Starting to get back into it now.
Are
But yeah,
you potentially going to be on Twitch at all?
yeah, I am on Twitch, actually. I recently just started doing Twitch. Still figuring it out.
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, it's a different setup.
It's complicated. Kyle, the same guy I was talking about, he came down. He helped me set up some drum mics at home and everything, and I bought a full rig. So I'm now streaming live on Twitch. I believe it's at Terrance Pettitt. Same with all of the other social media. Should be at Terrance Pettitt. And then Vincent from the Acacia Strain, he also streams on Twitch, but he does more gaming.
Yeah.
But, I'm going to talk to him soon when he gets back from Europe and pick his brain a little bit about setting up a Twitch layout so it's much more appealing to look at.
I love that guy. I haven't seen him in forever.
Dude, one of the nicest people that I've worked with.
One of my favorite stories from him about him is like he was telling me about this Death Star Lego kit that was like I don't even know how much money it was. It was a lot of money. It was like
yeah, it checks out.
But yeah, that's definitely you think about like heavy music and they're so angry. It's like no, he's super nice.
He's a sweetheart, dude. He's so nice.
It's like him and
he's
Scott Vogel too. It's like Scott Vogel couldn't be nicer.
Yeah, honestly, man, I feel like metal music gets a bad rap because it's quote unquote angry. But like, I gotta say, man, like, I think musicians are some of the nicest people that I have ever met. Like everyone is down to go out of their way to help somebody else. Everybody is pushing for positive change. Like it's just a bunch of good, hardworking people that just want to help each other grow. Like that's what I'm seeing in today's music scene. It's not like the early 2000s where there was just a bunch of bad people.
Yeah, but even like explain like, hey, Hatebreed is like Tony Robbins, but to metal.
Yeah.
I mean,
and dude, shout out Hatebreed, man. They're one of the bands that got me into music. So
yeah. And they're back on tour this fall, on a 30th anniversary tour.
That's so crazy.
Which
30 years.
I mean, I'm down for it.
Same, dude. That's sick.
Are you tapped in and confirmed for some tours in the summer, or?
I have a few offers. Unfortunately, I cannot talk about them.
Obviously.
I am going to the States next week to film another music video with Great American Ghost. And then I have a couple tours with them. I can't say when or with who, but it's going to be a good time.
Okay.
And another one for the fall with another band. So.
Okay. So if anyone rolls out to a tour that you're on, what is the best gift to give you?
Oh, dude. Just chat with me, man.
Okay. For sure.
I don't need anything. If you want to get me a coffee, I'm always down for a coffee. But dude, I just want to make friends and hang out with people.
That's what's up.